let me turn to a domestic story, but actually it's not that domestic. It is a story, I'm sure, that could have been read and told anywhere in the so-called Western world. I refer to the story today that a 4-year-old child in a nursery school called Genesis in Hull, have you seen Hull? Was force-fed a book called Grandad's Pride, in which are depicted presumably gay men in fetish gear, in a variety of clutches. I mean real fetish gear. I mean bondage gear for 4-year-olds or less in a nursery in England. Now I know that Labour pioneered all this stuff, but Britain is supposed to have a conservative government. Indeed, has had one for the last 13 years. And yet this keeps on happening. In secondary schools, in primary schools, and now in nursery schools. Now, what I'm about to say has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Grandad is gay. I have nothing against gay people. This program would not be coming out tonight but for my gay friends that produce it. I'm talking about the sexualization of small children. I have an interest. I declare it. I am a father of 6 children, 5 of them young children. And my eldest child has 5 young children of her own. So my children are in the school system that are poisoning our young people with sexual matters many years before they are emotionally, intellectually, morally ready to receive the messages that they will in time receive and make their own judgments. Now, Grandad's Pride was written by the recipient of the Waterstones Book Prize. It is published by Schuster, one of the world's biggest publishing houses. Genesis is a nursery school in the British system governed by British elected politicians. And yet, these small children were exposed in this book to illustrations of girls who'd had their breasts removed with visible scars, top trans scars, they call them. Men in the aforementioned suits, clothing, sexual clothing. Gay men don't walk around at work or down to Sainsbury's dressed in fetish gear. They wear it for sex. Good. Lovely. I like people who dress up for sex privately. Not to frighten the horses. Not to confuse the children. But between consenting adults. Behind closed doors, that's all I'm asking for. I will not stand idly by. I will not remain quiet whilst 4-year-old children are fed sexualized material that they cannot possibly understand or evaluate, but are being fed it so that it's in there and so that it will influence their thinking later on. How else, what else can it be for. I'd be as angry if a 4-year-old child was given a book containing images of women dressed as I like them to be dressed at bedtime behind closed doors. I would be just as angry, but we all know that that would never happen. Could never happen. No school would ever give a 4-year-old child images of women in black stockings and high heels. No school would be permitted to do so. Waterstones would never give an award to anyone who produced that book. Schuster would never publish it. And the big bookstores would not be giving it the house room that Grandad's pride has just got.